Hey, what's going on? It's your boy Dice here, and I want to welcome you to this video on how your family actually holds you back. You might not be actually at a stage where you're ready to hear this content. You might not be at a stage where you're ready to actually hear all the little intricate ways that your family actually holds you back and holds you in mediocrity. So if that's the case, it's probably best to do yourself a favor right now and click off this video. But if you are one of the rare few that are actually ready to understand the conversation styles and the little ways that your family actually holds you in mediocrity, then this is definitely the video for you. If you like this sort of content, you like learning about personal development, self-help and purpose, then by all means hit the like button and hit the subscribe button, because I'd hate for you to miss out on any content. So you're going to need a bit of an attention span to really lock in on this video, okay? I've got a heap of notes here to keep us on track. And yeah, if you're used to TikTok videos, this isn't the video for you. But I'm hoping that you'll be able to lock in and pay attention so that you can actually implement this and save yourself a lot of emotional hardship. So that being said, I'm going to throw my sunglasses on because we've got a shitload of wind coming in, and I don't want my eyes to dry out because we're blowing a gale here. Hopefully you can still hear me through the wind. All right, so let's get cracking into it. The first thing I want to talk about is unconditional love, okay? Or what we're actually going to be talking about is conditional love. So if you're like me, you've probably got very mediocre parents, okay? You probably can relate to it. Your family's just like, we love you no matter what, just do your best. It's okay as long as you try. This sort of unconditional love, and you're like, oh, it makes you all feel warm and fuzzy on the inside. But let me tell you the truth, okay? The truth is that unconditional love makes you weak, okay? Unconditional love makes you weak. If you're in this stage in your life where you're like, maybe you were like me previously, where you've got a lot of anxiety, you're light level depressed, and you're sort of going, the natural thing to do would to go and talk to your family about it, okay? So it is important to go and talk to someone about it. But what happens is you start to step up, you start to take on these ideas and concepts from the internet, from books and other mentors, and then you realize that there's actually a conflict of ideas between what you're learning from your family and what you're learning online. So you start to step up a little bit, and because you're excited about it, what happens? You go and tell your family about it, and what do? They're like, no, that's a bit risky, you probably shouldn't do that. So you get snapped back down with your ego again. And what I actually call this, okay, what I call it is the bandwidth of mediocrity. Your family wants to keep you in this bandwidth of mediocrity where you're not depressed, you've got a 9-to-5 job, you're doing okay, but you're not too far out of the norm so that you don't get to a stage where you're unrelatable to them, okay? Because they kind of want you to fit in. Is what we're gonna get to later. So another thing that you need to understand is you literally relied on your family for survival, okay? So when you were young, you needed to make sure that you had attention and validation from your family in order to be able to get food from them. And this is ingrained in your psyche, ingrained in evolutionary psychology from a very young age. So believe it or not, that mentality never really goes away, okay? It never really leaves your brain. So what does this all mean? This means that their opinion of you matters to you whether you like it or not, okay? And because your parents want you to be in this bandwidth of mediocrity, what they unconsciously do is give you conditional love, okay? They don't even know they're doing this. Another thing is if you confront them on this topic, they're gonna get really, really pissed off and probably call you unappreciative. So another thing I need to talk about is in your parents' eyes, you were always 15. You never really grew up, okay? If you've got a younger sibling, you could probably relate to this. So I've got a younger brother. So when I look at my younger brother, even though he's an adult now, he's 25 years old, I still look at him as if he's 15 and needs that little bit of help, a little bit of encouragement, and I like giving him help, okay? Because he's my younger brother. Your family's no different. Your family is no different in the sense that you are actually, in their eyes, always 15 years old. You always need that little bit of encouragement. You always need that little bit of advice. And what that does is part of their parenting, making them feel like a good parent, is giving you this advice, okay? Even if the information is completely false and completely untrue, they still feel good giving you advice because that's how they are hardwired in their brain to be a parent. Another thing I need to talk about is there's no timeline in the subconscious mind, okay? If for whatever reason you have to move back in with your parents or you spend a lot of time with family, okay, there's no actually timeline in the subconscious mind. So what do I mean by this? So if you're in a physical environment that's very similar or even the same, like you've moved back into the same house that you grew up in, what actually happens is your brain starts to connect the dots, okay? You're getting food from your family, you've got the same physical environment around you, your brain connects the dots, and then all of a sudden you don't actually have any confidence or self-esteem anymore, and you're back put into the same mentalities and the same thought processes that you were when you were a young kid. And it's this hectic cycle, this really negative cycle that keeps going on and on, where it actually just holds you in that bandwidth of mediocrity. It's up to you to actually get out of this, okay? So if you're like the type of person where you're starting to realize that you're having a hard time with all this stuff and you really need a little bit of guidance, then by all means send me a message on Instagram and we can get started on this journey of self-discovery and actually work out what your purpose is. I want to help you navigate all these little landmines that you're going with things like your family, with things like your purpose, trying to work out like what is the roadmap, what is the fucking roadmap that you need to be able to be successful, and how do you actually get out of this bandwidth of mediocrity. So if that sounds like something that you're interested in, by all means reach out to me on Instagram and we can get started. If you like this sort of content and you're not quite ready, by all means hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and stick around because I've got plenty more content coming out on this very topic. Thanks so much for watching.